Shares in Allied Gold are up around fourfold in the past year, and that outpaces the gain in the TSX Gold Index, which of course has more than doubled. Now, Allied has a big mine in Mali in West Africa, and it's nearing production at its Kurmuk gold mine in Ethiopia. Canaccord sees total output for the company hitting almost 550,000 ounces this year, and that will be up 45% from last year, and then getting to 660,000 ounces next year. We are joined by the CEO, Peter Marrone. Peter, great to see you again. Thanks very much for coming on the show.
Andrew, it has been such a long time. It's great to be with you.
Yeah, so no mine is simple to build. There are massive engineering achievements, but apparently Kurmuk is a fairly straightforward project.
It is, but as you said, if mines are complicated to build, and particularly in jurisdictions that want to encourage mining, Ethiopia certainly is that, but has not had historical development of mines, certainly not large-scale mechanized mines. We have to be sensitive to that, and we have to say, let's take a little bit more time to make sure that the engineering is right, that the procurement and supply chain is done as efficiently as possible, that we've worked with local communities, with local governments. We took a little bit of that extra time at the beginning of this when Allied went public in September of 2023. I said, we'll take an extra 6 months to 9 months to put all of those things in place. I'm happy to say that the result of that is that we're now very close. By April, we start commissioning this mine. And by the third quarter, we will be in production.
And you're blessed, apparently, that the nearest settlement is quite a few kilometers away, maybe 8 kilometers away. So you didn't have to resettle people?
Well, we did not. Now, there are local communities. We will be hiring locally. That's a very important practice of ours. It's part of the policies of this company. But there are local people. We will have a camp at which they stay. But you are correct that there are not local communities. But frankly, there's support for this mine and there's support for mining in the country. And that has to be said as well.
So your production next year, according to Canaccord, could hit about 660,000 ounces between, well, your two biggies are Mali and Ethiopia. Does that sound in the ballpark?
So part of what we've been doing for the last couple of years, since, again, going public, just a little over 2 years, is stabilizing the existing operations, spending some capital on stripping in the case of the Côte d'Ivoire mines, finding new ounces of oxides. Sadiola is transitioning from an oxide mine to one that processes slightly harder rock, fresh ore. But it's interesting because that mine has already produced close to 9 million ounces. But as it transitions, we have more than 10 million ounces already in inventory, and that number is likely to continue to grow. We've made discovery of new oxides, but we've also completed the first phase of a 2-phase expansion at that mine that ultimately takes it to 350,000 ounces per year. That first phase and some of the other optimizations and the discovery of the oxide ounces to supplement our production is important because it stabilizes that operation for certainly the next handful of years at least 200. We estimate 200 to 230,000 ounces per year. Now, this is a mine that, as it transitioned and as it was coming to the end of the mine life of its oxides, in 2023, it produced barely 170,000 ounces. Here we are now producing in the order of 200 to 230,000 ounces, and that in itself is a very positive movement on that operation. The second phase will allow us to process more of that fresh ore through that plant, the result of which is that the production platform is expected to be closer to 350,000 ounces, with, of course, a further improvement to its costs.
Now, Mali, of course, run by a military junta, and Barrick has had trouble there. It looks like they've resolved the dispute with the government. You signed a deal, I believe a 10-year deal in late 2024 with the government. Is everything copacetic there, or are you in further talks with the government in Mali?
Well, we took an approach, Andrew. It's interesting because the approach that we took, not dissimilar to many of the things that in the predecessor company that this management ran, Yamana Gold, we did in South America, recognizing what the government was looking to achieve. the creation of a mining industry rather than just companies coming in to extract. We took a reconciliatory approach in 2024. We entered into a protocol agreement. We received our permit extension for that 10 years to which you refer. And we've been in dialogue with the government of the country on what else can be done on our part and on their part to further improve the mining situation in the country. Look, let's face it, that Birimian belt on which this mine is located is one of several mines. And I can't think of a place where you can find a handful of mines that produce between 200,000 ounces per year and 500,000 ounces per year. So this is prolific. It is an exceptional precious metals mining place. I believe that the government of the country recognizes that. They're trying to find a way to provide more take on the part of the state, while at the same time also encouraging mining. We've been in dialogue on the ways that could occur. We will continue to be in dialogue. I think it will lead to a positive result.
Thanks very much, Peter. Really appreciate it.